people aren't taught to think critically. And those who are taught to think critically usually at some point do. And it'll lead them down a different path. If you are taught to be put on a path and that's the path you stay on and you don't deviate, you just move forward because you are what race you are what religion you are, this is where you grew up, then you haven't been taught to think critically. You've been taught to stay in the lines of where you were born. And that's fucked up because you're born and we're supposed to be in a free country. So, we should be able to explore all the things that we want to. It's probably part of the reason why people have such problems with teenagers, because they don't want to be in that box that their parents put them in. They haven't attained the ability to think critically yet, so they're just all over the place. And it's infuriating. And it's infuriating for them too, because they have no focus and they just look like some dumbass, and that's how people view them. And then when they get 25, 30, they be like, damn, I was a dumbass. Everybody looks back and says that I was a dumbass.
But then they put themselves in the same box that their parents were.
Well, then hopefully, if they learn how to think critically, they put themselves in a different box that has a lid. See, we need lids. It's okay to have a box where you're comfortable. You can't be out there protesting everything 24/7. Nobody's got that in them. You want to be able to come home, close your lid, watch some Scandal, and be okay. But don't like it. You got to be able to pop it open and say, well, what's going on out here? I'm not for that. Step out your box and venture over there. And then when you're done adventuring and learning and sharing and growing, you can come back to your box, sit down, watch some Walking Dead. Crack your lid open the next day and do it all over again. Everybody's in a box. Just don't lock your fucking box.
That's sensical. It's easy. But people don't want to do that. They don't. They want the world to burn beneath their feet and blame somebody else for the cause of it. That's what they want to do. The corporations, for example, they want to be deregulated, which is what happens. Every year there's further and further deregulation. So we got these orange minerals in our water. You get pipelines bursting. You get flammable water coming out the tap. You get lead in your water. You get more contaminants in your oil, which will hurt your car, which will in time lead to more car repair, engine repair, basically totaling the car. Deregulations do these things. Deregulations allow oil to filter into the oceans. Deregulations allow more chemicals into the air that need not be there. Deregulation allows places like Bayer and Monsanto to put poisons in our foods, advertise that it's safe, and then we consume it, get ill, get sick, and we then have to go to the doctor, which they don't necessarily help us. They just prescribe medicines. It's not helping us. It's more like lining their pockets, because that's what they do. I see you have this problem. I notice these symptoms. I will give you this. And if this don't work, I will give you this. If that don't work, I will give you this. If that don't work, we will give you this. And you say, I would like to try some holistic remedies. And they say, I wouldn't advise that because you don't know what they do. Please go with this prescription. This $40, this $60, this $80, this $800 prescription. And if you need an EpiPen, you're really fucked. Deregulation does all of these things. There's a cause and effect. And through the deregulation, in time, when we slowly run out of drinking water, when we are having to actually use Perrier from Spaceballs, when we actually have to open cans and breathe in fresh air, when we have to do all this, it won't be their fault. Oh, they burn the world at their feet, but they're going to blame the little guy. They're going to blame the 99%. They're going to blame every working person and say, it's your fault because you wanted handouts. You didn't want to work to save your environment. You wanted handouts. And what will the 99% do? They will blame each other. then 99%, the white people are going to blame the Mexicans and illegal immigrants. And they're going to blame the fatherless, single parent, inner city, street urban youth super predators that did nothing but ruin their own society and not build anything up because they wanted a handout. They're going to blame the welfare queens, which they believe are the same community, which more Republicans are on welfare than anything else. They're going to blame everything. The Bible thumpers are going to blame the atheists. Everyone is going to blame everyone except for the ones that should be blamed. That's, if anybody wants to know, is how the world ends. By not taking a hit, by not being accountable, by giving in to fog words, dog whistle politics, and this need to be better than your neighbor by any means necessary. That's what's going to happen. The world will be fine. It's just a rock floating in space with dense, clear liquid with light spectrum shining in as blue. That's all it is. The planet is going to survive anything we do. We are not going to survive anything we do. And we're going to blame each other for it. I think that's the major problem in all of society around this planet. You could ask China if you could see through their smog. You could ask LA if you could see through their smog. You could go and talk to the people in the Midwest if you don't fall in a hole from fracking and earthquakes. There's a lot that you could do if you could get there safely.